Hey folks, AJ the CEO here, and we are bundled up because we're getting ready to head out to go to Bethlehem Baptist Church. This church is actually about 5 miles away from me. So meeting up with them, they've been calling to let me go, want me to come over there and do an on-site, see what we can do to help them out. So I'm a little bit rushing right now because was just finished building a computer. And I was trying to get it to have everything done. So by the time when I get back, all the operating system and all the updates have been done. But let's go ahead and get on the road and let's take a little trip over to Richmond, over to Midlothian Turnpike, and let's see what we can do to help them out. Alrighty, folks, we are here. Let's get inside. Like I said, it's real dark, so let's get inside. Alrighty, folks, so you know what we do. We normally walk around. I didn't do as much video walking around, but it's kind of a blank slate. It's somewhat of a blank slate. We're going to be doing some updates. So let me do my walkthrough and talk through so I remember what's going on here. So let's start in the back here. So this is the area that they have for the media area. So what we're going to do is, this is an old board. I'm going to give them two options. You're either going to go with a 20-channel analog mixer or possibly a digital mixer. I want to give them two options to see what they want to go with. If they go with the digital, that's where we're going to put a snake in the front. I'm not going to install a snake, but I'll have the Ethercon cable here. So if they ever want to go with that, it's already ran. They just need to connect it. That monitor is not working. That's going to go away. This is going to be nothing but the music and the audio mixing area. This area, we're going to expand this out with an actual desk, put the computer on the floor, maybe get like a 4-foot countertop, wedge that in so it will hang over the window a little bit, get rid of this top shelf. We do a custom PC, do an ATEM Mini Extreme, have a 32-inch on the wall. That will be the multi-view, and then another work area for the monitor for the computer. I'll probably do one of the under shelves that I have. So I'll either put the keyboard or the ATEM up under that so we can draw that out so we can have some more space for that. And then what we're also going to do is in here, they have their speakers in the back, and they didn't want that. So instead of getting new speakers, we're probably just going to reposition those in the front somewhere, probably on the sides flanking the window up there. We'll have to re-extend those cables there. That is an old SD camera that they have. We're going to get away from that, do a 20X PTZ, move that in the center, get rid of the clock, put the camera right there so it's completely center. We shouldn't have an issue with the chandelier, but if there is, we'll take a couple of rungs out, maybe 4 at the max to lift that up so you'll have a straight shot. Now, when it comes to here, they are also interested in doing some monitors here for the choir and for the ministers, pastors that's going to be up here. So maybe an 8-inch. I don't think a 10-inch will be too much to go up in here. So maybe right here. Now on this back wall, we're probably going to try and put, as best as we can, 2 75s flanking the cross here. Just because of the space, because of the way the ceiling is, it's not going to really work to hang it here because somebody might hit their head coming from here. The other thing that we're going to do, when they have baptism, all of these chairs go away and the baptism is lift up. So we're either going to put another camera here or on that side so we can give a better shot here, and then we'll be able to project it on the TVs, which also follows with maybe another camera on the back so we can have a front shot here. So looking at a total of 3 cameras in here, repositioning the speakers, and maybe doing some other stuff. Now we're also going to have to look at doing some UniFi stuff here, so we can add some Wi-Fi in here, possibly, or we'll just have to add an access point, or maybe just run a cable here so we can have a physical connection because they're interested in live streaming. This is the multi-purpose room as well as the kitchen. So we have to run some new cables here as well in the pastor's office so we can get the feed from the ATEM here. And then the pastor's office probably going to get a new TV for him. And then if we go back here to the front, maybe another television here, maybe a 50 or something like that. We don't need to go a 65, maybe a 48 or something like here. And that would be for anybody that's waiting for service, but then it can be repurposed into like announcements or something like that. Maybe put a UniFi display cast or something on here, which I had the video for. Y'all have never seen it because I never finished it, but we can do that and hook that up to here as well too. They're also interested in doing some security cameras, so that's the reason why I was talking about doing the UniFi stuff here. So maybe get them the Cloud Gateway Max, so that can handle security cameras, I believe, as well too. Or we might have to go up to just the UDM Pro, and that will handle that. We'll probably do the, I'm trying to think, maybe I forgot the model. It's the next step up from the UDM Pro, which is the Dream Machine that has PoE on it as well too. So that way you could send, we don't have to necessarily get a PoE switch for that, but it also depends on the amount of cameras. But just based off what we're looking at, I think we're looking at least 4 to 5 external cameras as well too. And probably because of how the building is, you can probably get away with maybe 3 access points in total. But this is actually this church. I was recommended by the church by Miss Lisa from Mount Sinai that we had did their stuff a while ago. So again, and actually down the street from here is Gilfield, which they saw that one as well too. So it's good that, you know, they're sharing my name and all this other stuff like that. And is that the internet? I think that is right there. So we got some stuff that we got to extend. And so I think an access point in the ceiling here in this area, as well as the sanctuary, and then maybe put it in that closet. I need to see what's in that closet in the media area, but might be able to just put like a rack in the wall, in the door, in that closet, and that will satisfy what's needed. If not, we just got to find another area that will work. So yeah, this actually could be used because nothing is really in here, because a lot of the CDs and stuff like that are going to go away. So we can put a rack in here that will be for the network and internet, and we just extend the cable and maybe move the modem and everything in that corner. So I think I got everything. Oh, and also they want a TV on the back wall so that the everybody on the pulpit can see what's going on, and the choir can see as well too. So nothing different outside of what we've been doing before. I saw the attic access. So we're obviously going to be doing a lot of crawling in the ceilings and stuff like that. I mean, actually there's the entrance right there. So should not be that tedious, because I mean, it's like mainly it's going to be what, 2, 3, 4 cables in the front for the TVs and the 2 cameras, and then 2 Ethernet cables, well 3, because we're going to put a future one for a snake if they ever do that in the future. Reposition the speakers in the front and maybe run some extensions from that board. I need to come here and make a picture of the board as well too, so I can remember to look it up, because they've reached the limit on what they can do. There's no more jacks or anything on here. So give them some options on that. Probably do a rack mounted system so we can secure a lot of the stuff here, clean this up, so we can probably put everything on the bottom, and then a lot of the stuff, the tape player, the CD player and stuff like that, can go away since we're going to do a computer. So I think that's about it. Again, they met up with me right before they were having Bible study. So I'm trying to hurry up so I can get back home so I can get out their way so they can do that. But let's go ahead and cut over to the computer and let's design this thing. And if we get the contract, I'll bring you along. And this church is only 15 minutes away from home. So this will be easy for a travel at least. But anyway, let's get in front of the computer and let's design this thing. Alrighty, folks, we are back. Let's go over here and do a design. And it seems like, I guess it's good timing that we've been doing all these other videos, because a lot of this stuff is just tying into kind of the other projects that I'm doing right now. So let's cut over here. And we're using Draw.io or Diagrams.net, whichever one. They both go to the same place. Let's make a new design. So that's Bethlehem Baptist Church. And I don't like that name. I don't. Yeah, let's do it that way. All right, so let's start off with our infrastructure. We're gonna look at a mixer. I don't know what mixer is gonna be yet. We can go from either one. So this is gonna be just new audio mixer. We're gonna use an ATEM Mini Extreme. Let's bring this down here. We're going to connect this over a audio cable there. Again, it doesn't matter what type of mixer. We're going to connect it the same way. We're going to relocate the speakers. So I don't really need to include this because, I mean, we're not buying, well, I think we are going to be buying some speakers because they said they wanted some monitor ones. So we're definitely going to need to get some more cables or maybe a snake. I might go with the Ethernet snakes that I've used before. That way, we don't have to worry about running too much of a heavy cable and stuff like that. So these are the existing cables that are already, existing cables that are already going to the speakers. We're just going to relocate them. I really don't, I guess I don't understand why whoever did this put the main speakers in the back. I mean, there must be a reason. It just doesn't make sense. And like I said, we're probably going to do 2 more speakers. This would be for the pulpit and the choir. The pulpit is small, so I don't think we need to put 2 there. Maybe you can get away with 1 and then get some smaller speakers for the choir. Definitely might have to look at another amp as well to support the power of that. So we got our speakers here. We're going to do some televisions. I'm going to play around with it. I'd rather not go at 65s because I think they will be small. 75s I think will be good to go in the front. We're definitely going to put them on the back wall because we can't really do that with those other ones. Just not enough space. Then we're also the entrance TV. We also got the fellowship hall TV. Then we got the pastor's office TV. And I think we got that from here. So now let's go to our, well, let me stick with that one. So we're going to have our 1x8 HDMI splitter. So we will run one feed from here, from the ATEM. Then that will feed into both of these. Now I'm going to do something a little bit, well, not different. I've done this before with our entrance TV. Just keep that in mind because I'm going to come back to this. So this will be HDMI 1 here. And yeah, I'm going to do that a little bit different. I guess I need to finish this video that y'all never saw for this product. It's actually sitting on the floor right behind me, and I've been meaning to re-record the video for it. All right, we got that. Now, I don't know what I can use for this, but this is going to be the Unify Cast. I believe that's what it's called. And there's my phone, my camera going to sleep. So this will be connected over HDMI number 2, but it can be controlled through the Unify app, so that it can talk to that. So we definitely probably going to have to go with a UDM Pro so that we can make sure that we have enough inputs for that. At least that's my assumption with that. All right, so if I can get my mouse to get back over here. All right, and we're gonna do about probably 3 PTZ cameras. I'm gonna shrink this a little bit here. It looks off. So we're gonna have one to the side, so that'll be side PTZ. This is gonna give a better shot into the baptismal. We got, I'm just gonna put them right. Let me put them over here so we have enough space for everything. Because I try and put it in perspective of how everything is gonna be. I just don't have enough space. So we got this here. So this will be our front PTZ. That's our side. And then we will also, let's move this down. And then this will be our back PTZ, with the potential that we might have to take a couple of rungs out of the chandelier so that the camera won't be in the way. And the chandelier won't be in the way of the camera. All right, so we're going to connect these fiber optic HDMI cables. Should be pretty straightforward. Again, I didn't go up in the ceiling, so I can't 100% say everything is going to be fine. But I think we should be good to go with that. If I can get my cable to work with me here. There we go. Those are our cameras. We're going to do a SSD there because I saw a whole bunch of CDs. So with this change, we should be able to get them away from that. And I guess they could still do it if they want to, but I would hope with what we show them, they won't need to do that. I'm going to build them another custom PC. I got like 2 of them right behind me that I'm building for a couple of other ministries. Let's shrink this down just a little bit. This is going to be our presentation PC, so they can put scripture and lyrics on those TVs. We got that connected here. This computer will also be, let's slide this, get out of here. Let's slide this over so I can have some more space. We'll have the other USB connection coming here. That will be for Zoom or anything like that if they're doing some type of connection that way. So we'll do that USB. And I need to label these USB. This is HDMI. 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 One more. HDMI. I would hope everybody would know what that cable is. Yeah, let's move this one over here. So it would hopefully everybody would know all those cables of that. So we got all of that done. What else are we missing? We need a monitor, our multi-view. This will most likely be a 32-inch that I'm going to mount on the wall. So this will be our multi-view for our ATEM, so everybody can see who's operating all of those. We got that. We need a joystick. Like I said, we're probably going to do some under-shelf drawers, kind of like what I have here, so we can consolidate our space here. And let's say PTZ joystick. We need a PoE switch. This is going to be like a separate PoE switch like I normally use that will be inside a rack. So we're going to run out of space real quick. So let me zoom out a little bit here. And I'll put this over here so we can have some space. So this is going to be our PoE switch. This is going to be the one that turns on and off. So this is going to give our cameras power and network connection. So this is to be the one that we can turn off so we can get all that activity there. Let's do a little bit more here. Connect that one. This will be an 8-port switch too, so we'll have plenty of connections here. So it'll go to here. We will also connect this to our ATEM. Give it internet connection there. What else do we need? I think that's it. So I may be able to get away with a smaller switch. And again, it all depends on what type of mixer we got. We might have to connect the network to that too. So the other thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to unify them. And I pretty much, let's actually look at it right now. Let's go over here to unify. And we want to look at the cloud key, the cloud gateways. Keep saying it, calling it the wrong thing. So this is the one that we just did. This is for First Street Baptist Church in Oxford. This is the other one. We want to see, can this run other apps? Includes full application suite for managing devices. So again, this one can run everything on here. So we may be able to get away with this. I'm wondering, can we add more storage space though for the cameras? See, it only has a 512 gigabyte NVMe, but it doesn't look like we can install anything else. So up to 2 terabyte NVMe can go in there. I wonder if a 4 terabyte can go in there, but still, that's not a lot of space. So, and that's for $100, we can go with the bigger one. So I'm gonna go ahead and just go with the regular Pro Max. No, not the Pro Max. The Special Edition. That's the one we're going to get. So that's going to give us our PoE switches natively in there, and then we'll have those connected to the cameras. We're only going to look at 4 cameras for right now. If they wanted any more, we can expand that. So let's go with that. And that's not what I was trying to select. I was trying to select this. Oh, I already did it. So this is going to be our UDM Pro Special Edition. And I've installed 2 of these. So we're going to have the regular internet or modem or ISP, whatever they got, is going to feed into this. We're probably going to put this in that networking closet the closet that's in the media room, since that upper wall is not being used for anything. We should be able to run everything here. If we need to, we might put another switch, but I think we have enough spaces. So this will run a direct connection to the computer, so that the computer will always have internet access, so everything doesn't need to be turned on for that. Then we'll run another connection to the BV Tech PoE switch that's going to be in the rack as well too, under the table, because we're going to add some racks in there to secure everything up under there. And we need some more security cameras. I'm going to use these ones instead. My assumption, just from looking at it, we want to cover every door. It looked like there was 4. They didn't say anything about indoor cameras. So for right now, they're only talking about outdoor. So I'll get 4 cameras here. This will be connected to the SE. So we don't need a separate PoE switch since this one has it built in. So that should save them a little bit of money for this. I hate when it does this. Like, why can't you just be nice and pretty and be lined up when I run the cables here? And why are you doing this? Did the same thing. I don't know how that worked that time. All right, so we got that, and then let's add 2 access points. So one will be inside the sanctuary. And then maybe one more. Well, one more is going to be inside the multi-purpose room. Come on. There we go. All right, so got the internet. We got the UDM Pro SE. Have 4 cameras connected to that. I think we can put in a 8 terabyte drive in there. That should cover them more than fine for those 4 cameras. If they ever decide to do anything else, that's when we would have to do another PoE switch, and then we can expand out. I think that's enough for the things that they need. I might end up having to put another switch in there anyway if they have any other connections, because if we're running this stuff, we might as well. I saw Pastor had a computer in his office and some other places, maybe the treasurer or somebody has a computer, so we'll put a hardline connection. So we may add another switch to this just to give some more connections, and we just run the cables and put some jacks everywhere else. So that's it. And inside of this, I'm going to run power from the TV for this. So we're going to put a new TV up there. There's no TV there anyway. We'll put a TV there. So it's going to, the UniFi Cast is going to get power from the TV. So I don't have to worry about a connection, power, but we do need to run a cable there. So it can be any type of connection here. So we already got 4, 5, 6, 7. This will be our 8th. So we're really close to having to get another switch in here so we can have enough connections coming out of here. So I'm thinking I might just put one there just in case, just for us to cover, make sure we're good to go. Do we have everything? I think we do. Yeah, I think we've covered everything that was brought to my attention. And I think that's it. So the good thing is it's not anything outside of what we've already done. It's kind of the same thing we've been doing, and it just works. We might change out some other stuff if more things come available. Some stuff gets replaced if new tech has been around. But for the most part, this is setting them up good for where they're going to. So like I normally say, folks, link is going to be down below to every single thing that we do. If we get the contract, I'll bring you along, and kind of like what I'm doing with First Street Baptist Church with the computer right here and the other ones that we've been building and doing all these other videos. Going to do some behind the scenes so you can see all the prep work that we do, and I take you along once we install everything if we get the contract. And I think that is about it. No, folks, if you ever have any questions, you can hit me up at questions@ajhomes.com. Or if you want me to come by your church, or you want me to do a Zoom or a consultation phone or whatever, go to ajhomes.com/consultations, and we can book something and we can get you squared away. And I think that's about it. If you have any other questions, know that you can also leave some comments down below. I try to read every single comment and respond to all of them as well, too. So I think that is about it. So if you like this type of content, appreciate a like, consider subscribing, hit that bell, the way you get notified when we come out with other videos to help modernize your media ministry. Thanks for watching, folks. This is AJ. Catch you on the next video. Later.